Here's a look at the materials we're going to use to make this gorgeous wet felted rainbow fabric. You can use any colors you like, but I've had so much fun with this and there's lots you can do with it, so we'll share those at the end. We're using 19.5 micron merino tops and 19.5 micron pre-felt for the base. For luster fibers, here's a great collection. I'm starting off with some hankies here, complementary colors. You could go neutrals if you want, or monochrome, blues, greens, whatever. Tussa silks, bamboo tops. These are sari silk wastes, which look like scriggly, scrappy stuff. Pull into your stash and see what you have. We also have specialty designer packs, which are super rich. This is Angelina. Blend in a little bit for some bling. So fun. We'll use some yarns, neps, anything from your collection. And we have some great starter packs too. So look at the show notes down below. A quick setup here, basic single station setup, more on that below. Grab yourself a dowel or a closet pole, just something short enough to use for your work. Scissors help to cut some of these fibers. If you're doing something small, you can use this bamboo mat, but it shouldn't extend beyond the edges, not beyond the sides or the ends. So with the merino top, control is really key. You'll notice that when you open the merino top, it's really wide and chunky. You want to narrow that down so that you can control the pull off. The key with getting a nice even piece of felt that you're making from hand is to be even in your layers. So start with a length that works for you and then divide the thickness. I work with a minimum of a fourth like this, and we're going to pull off these little bits. So notice how that edge flares there. I put the straighter edges around the edge. We're doing the same patchwork layout that we shared recently, and because it's a patchwork of color, we're going to do crisscross. So the pre-felt is a single layer. It really is almost like two layers. And then you're going to do a north and south layer and then an east and west layer of each color. And you should overlap each color a little bit. You don't want to see the pre-felt underneath. So have fun with this process. You want to cover the pre-felt just 100% so that you don't see it. And don't worry about all these strong lines because we are going to cover them up with our embellishment, and you're just not even going to know that there's little square or rectangular chunks of color underneath there. With your hands, flatten everything out and feel for bare spots. If you have any thin spots, fill them in now. We're coming in here with pre-felt to get some structure. You can see the sari silk waist, little bits of bamboo top. This is some silky bits that I had in, this is some silky bits I had in my stash. Here's some Angelina here, and you can see we're just putting down a little bit. These fibers technically don't felt, but the wool underneath will migrate in all directions and grab onto it. The scales of the merino top are just really wonderful, and they're going to integrate with these embellishments that we're putting on top. So the wool yarns do felt, the pre-felt does felt. I have a little mohair yarn in there. And look at this, we've covered it so you can't even see there's rectangles under there. We're covering with our mesh. Our mesh is now white and even finer, so if you don't find the green, don't worry about it. Wetting out with a ball broth, just adding a little bit of soapy water here. But I really like to wet out with a sponge. Give this a try. We put the sponge in our soapy water and then I add more soap by rubbing right on my bar. This is our imported French olive oil soap. Lasts forever, just dry it out in between uses. Notice that we press soap and water in and air out. At this point, all we're doing is pressing. We're causing these layers of fibers to get closer together, and that's key because when we agitate, we want to make it as easy as possible for those fibers to entangle. You do want the entire project wet, but you don't want it puddling, and if you haven't tried the sponge, please give it a try. You'll see that it really helps control the application of water so that you don't have too much. So press, 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 feel everything, and again, if you have any bare spots, now is the time to fill them in. Gentle hands, and again, just want to get everything close together so that when we start to agitate, that the fibers will be able to readily entangle. And honestly, the pre-felt is just such a great starter base. It was years before I had pre-felt, or even knew about pre-felt that you didn't make yourself. So I find it such a wonder. And make sure you press evenly across the entire project. That's what I'm trying to show you here. Your hands really inform and tell you what's happening from the start to the finish. And holes don't get fixed in the end. They have to be fixed here in the layout. So fill in any bare spots with new fiber. I'm putting fresh plastic over the top. We use this as a barrier to protect the project. You're not going to want to rub on dry plastic because your hands will stick and cause your design to shift. So it's really key to put water and soap or soapy water on top of the plastic while you agitate. I can see here that I have a towel, bubble wrap, and then the project, and then plastic. And now I like to do kind of like a towel, a bubble wrap, plastic, the project, and plastic. So try both methods and see what you like. We're going to start agitating always with hands, and you want to treat the entire area of this project the same. Wherever you rub in one part of the piece, you need to rub in another part. If you do circles that are counterclockwise, go back and do circles that are clockwise. If you go north and south, then follow up with east and west. The same with hand rolling or rubbing, because the fibers will travel, therefore shrink in the direction that you agitate. And you want to start to practice really controlling that shrinkage so that it stays nice and even. Some things are dictated by how the project is laid out. We're using a very whimsical layout and lots of different types of fibers, so it's not incredibly uniform, and that will impact the shrinkage. Therefore, all the rest you want to try and control with how you agitate, just so that you get the most, surface area of your project while felting it well. Here we're coming in with our dowel. I think this is like a 1.5 inch dowel. Lay it right on top of the project and roll everything from the bubble wrap up. And you want a fairly round roll. You don't want it to be weird and lumpy, or otherwise you're going to have your project lumping on itself. We lock it down with a towel, and then we do this rock and roll process. If you've seen us wet felt, you've seen me do this. It's a rock and roll of 25 times, just like I'm showing you here. And then we give it a quarter turn on its axis and continue with another 25, repeating that process until you reach 100 rolls from each edge of both sides of the project. So all 4 sides at the top and the bottom. See here, the bamboo mat would be too small. The teeth of the bamboo on the edges would eat up our project, so only use it for tiny things that would fit there. Otherwise, come to the bamboo and get yourself a little closet pole. This is too small to use a pool noodle with. You need something small, and this wood dowel really gives us a nice firm surface to press against. As you roll, your project should roll. That you shouldn't feel the layers slipping on each other. You shouldn't feel it getting all out of control, and that's why the towel is so key, because it locks it into a roll. If at any time your project feels uneven or like it's not rolling smoothly like it should, unroll it and re-roll it, because you don't want to mess up this fabric while you're trying to create it. This is starting to come together here. We can see everything is kind of melting together and looking beautiful, and everything is kind of jumping. But you can see with this pinch test that it is kind of holding together in one piece, but it doesn't have a lot of integrity. We could feel the layers slip between our fingers if we were to slide them. We could pull it apart if we wanted to. And really, we want to keep felting until all of these fibers are really well integrated. So we're going to move on to a little more strong agitation. You can see I'm rolling it on the towel, which helps pull some of the water out, and that's just fine. I'm actually pressing with more pressure here than I used originally. And this is where we're starting to full and get this project to further shrink down. You want to use your hands as much as possible so that you feel what's happening, because you're going to feel how dense this fabric is coming together. I can feel as I rub my hands over it how it's doing. I keep the plastic so that I don't mess up any of the fibers on the towel underneath. And we want to continue fulling or further shrinking the fabric with increased agitation. You see, as we remove layers of stuff like the bubble wrap, it's actually going to help this fabric full or shrink even more quickly. And in a minute, we'll remove the closet pole and even the plastic as well, and just further this project along. You don't want to rush to getting too aggressive in your agitation too quickly until you have a lot of that air out and the fibers are getting closer together, because that will cause your project to pill and actually get messed up. So it is important to take a gradual approach when you're making handmade felt and feel it come together. If you bake or if you work with clay, you're going to understand it's the same concept. Well, now we can feel that we're really starting to get a good fabric here. I can feel that the fibers are starting to lay down. I can rub my hands, soapy hands, across the surface and feel that things are laying down. So we move to what's called the fulling stage, or further shrinking, which is really what we've already been doing. And this technique I'm doing right here is called palming, and that's where you rub from both sides of the fabric, and you can really feel it mash together when you do this. This is a very effective process, and I do it across the entire surface area of the piece. Now we roll it on itself, and I'm not pressing all that hard, but when you remove these barriers, you can start to feel your project really start to shrink up underneath your fingers when you roll it on itself. If your piece is large, I learned that you should have your hands touching all surface area. You can fold it on itself. If you're doing a big piece, like a larger piece of felt, you can fold it on itself just like this and roll it some more. The key is we're always rolling it and unrolling it. Are we worried about it sticking to itself? No, because we've already reached the soft felt stage and we're in the fulling stage. If it's not ready for the stage, yeah, it's going to get messed up. So take your time and make sure that you can really start to feel you have a single piece of fabric forming before you start increasing the aggressiveness of your agitation. So this is kind of like a pinch and roll process where I just pinch and roll and pinch and roll. That's very effective as well. And you can see I have a little swoop in here on the side. Well, what's happening is my corner's sticking out. So to shrink in my corner, we can spot full, and again with a pinch and roll, and then with some pressure rolling under our hands in just a few seconds, we're going to bring that corner in and tame it a little bit. Now you can also pull out the area that's in some, and what happens when you pull on your felt is it gets a little stronger because those scales lock in on themselves just like on a zip tie. Rub your hand all around anywhere it feels a little mushy, it feels a little soggy or a little baggy. Give that area some extra attention and make sure you do this from the front and the back because it will have impact. And you'll see we're working on our bubble wrap now because you get that massage action from the bubbles on the underside. So it really is a great little helper. Now this thing is coming together really quite well. Our piece is looking really good, and I can feel that we have a great felt forming. So we're going to rinse out all of the soap, and then we're going to do our vinegar bath, which I didn't film here. So just rinse all the soap out and put it in a vinegar bath with just water and about a couple of tablespoons of vinegar, and then let it dry, and then come back and have a look. So you can see that all of our fibers are really laying down and looking gorgeous, and it's going to look even more beautiful dry. If you guys are looking for projects to make from your handmade felt fabric, we have a whole playlist here for you to check out, and we have a fun video with a dedicated project that you might want to check out and give a try. You're going to be making gifts for your entire family before you know it. Thanks so much for joining us, y'all. We hope you leave a comment down below and let us know your favorite takeaway or what you're going to make with your handmade felt fabric.